I've heard legends that there's a brewer around these parts that knows how to make homebrew beer and homebrew magic. I'm asking for his insight. Kano, do you have any brews for me?
My brews are too strong for you, traveler.
So I've been fumbling around with a deck because I liked playing that Mystical Teachings deck a lot, and we're gonna try and play this. I call it Modern High Tide because it wins like High Tide. Delicious. All right, so we know that one 1-liter bottle fills my Bavarian beer steins perfectly. All right, so this is the first deck that I'm going to play today. It's kind of like a Glittering Wish, High Tide, happy fun times, really. One moment. Make sure that it's set as my current deck so that everybody can see the list if they'd like. Cool. So, we're playing mostly Bant, Splash Black for a couple of sideboard things, and Flashing Back Mystical Teachings. But we're playing mostly Bant. Fun fact about this is I really, like, the other day, I was looking at Wilderness Reclamation and I was like, what can I do with untapping lands? And I don't know if this is better than just the Sultai Nexus deck, but I really, like, after blue sunning someone for lethal the other day, I was like, this has potential. I don't know if it's better, but it's good. So we're going to try it. Also decided to run Glittering Wish. Glittering Wish synergizes with Quicken. Quicken synergizes with Wargate. But the idea is we ramp out a bunch of lands. We're untapping those lands at our end step. We're flashing in a bunch of stuff to take advantage of the mana. We're potentially taking infinite turns. We're drawing a bunch of cards. We're playing even more lands. And eventually, we're just on our end step going to tap all of our mana, untap it, tap all of our mana, untap it, tap all of our mana, untap it, and then blue sun someone for lethal. Should be pretty great. And other than that, we're basically just playing like Bant stall. In the sideboard, we have a wish board, basically right here in the middle. Mind Grind as our alternate blue sun if somebody like answers blue sun or like has a ley line out, because this says each opponent. So we're gonna mill them out. We also have some anti-control tech. We've got a fog. We've got some answers, board wipes, singleton copy of emergency powers, so we can feel like we're playing Time Spiral. Sphinx's Rev is additional draw. Alright, I'm not going to belabor this point any longer. We're just going to go ahead and start running this through some 2-mans. I was going to say, I played and beat Living End in 2 test matches, and I lost in 2 test matches to Prime Speaker Vanifar, but that was in an earlier version of the deck, not this version of the deck. So I'm interested to see if this version's any better after making some adjustments. I think I have my vest set on the wrong notches. We won the die roll. Heck yeah, I won't go first. Well, we have Growth Spiral into Harrow and Glittering Wish. I'm going to keep. This is very, very rampy hand. Opponent mauls to 6. Mauls to 5. Keeps the 5. Okay, well, we're going to start Misty Rainforest past the turn. Opponent plays a Seagate Wreckage and an Expedition map. Okay, we're going to fetch a Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool intapped. Map resolves. We untap. We draw. Growth Spiral. We'll play a Forest, pass the turn. We're going to be doing a lot of ramp in this game. But it plays a Wastes. Is this mono brown Eldrazi? We'll growth spiral. Put in a Watery Grave. Tapped. Untap. We draw. Flooded Strand. We'll play a Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Hey, Phoenix. Good to see you. We're playing Modern High Tide, effectively. Because Sultai Nexus was too clever of a deck, so I had to make it worse. Opponent lands in Eldrazi Temple. If they thought not us here, it's going to be a little sad because they'll take our Nexus, but we have 2 in this list, so we should be okay. Let's just start firing these off. Forest and an island. Okay. Opponent has the option of Glittering Wish or Nexus of Fate. They almost certainly take Nexus of Fate here. You can say, hey, it's our turn 4, and opponent takes Glittering Wish. They're not scared of the Nexus. Alright. Well, we draw a Snapcaster. Play a Plains, pass the turn. We're going to try and just Nexus on their end step. Turn 4 have 7 lands. It's like we're playing Tron 2, but with colors. Opponent plays a Mimic. Gonna get in for 4. We take 4, go to 14. Alright, fire off Nexus of Fate. We're going to take 2 turns in a row. Hopefully, well, I mean, I won't complain. We'll cast it again. Would like to draw something to take advantage of this, like a Teachings or... Alright. Play Breeding Pool, tapped. Snapcaster for Growth Spiral. We do have another extra turn in queue after this. Cast it as a Think Twice. Play Misty. We're going to go ahead and crack. And get a Hallowed Fountain. Untap. We draw Wilderness Reclamation. Okay, well now if we draw any action spell in the deck, we'll have an infinite amount of mana. Snapcaster probably just going to chump this Seer here. This is an Endbringer. It's an Endbringer. What are some creatures with really good activated abilities? There's the old Guildmage cycle. That's pretty decent. There's the 2-drop that makes, like, you pay 5 and draw 2 cards. Trying to think of what else. Ooh. Settle the Wreckage is super good here. Provided our opponent does not have a pre-combat Thought Knot. Opponent plays a Cavern. Naming Eldrazi. Not a Thought Knot. Not a Thought Knot! No! No Thought Knots! Alright. We won't show them that we have a settle in the deck. Using things like Duskwatch Recruiter. That's probably a better idea than the one that I had when I was building this deck. We're going to bring in our Engulf the Shore. And we are going to cut probably, I think, Search for Tomorrow. Try it like this. We will keep. Start Breeding Pool, tapped, pass the turn. When it plays an Eldrazi Temple. We'll play an island, pass the turn. No double Eldrazi Temple. Okay. It's just a power plant. No need to worry. Opponent plays a Matter Reshaper. We Growth Spiral. Put a Forest into play. Pass turn, untap. We draw Plains. We'll play a Forest. Play Wilderness Reclamation. I think this is my new favorite card to cast in Modern. Because, like, it's a 4-drop you can resolve and untap everything. Like, it's something you can cast sorcery speed and still have interaction on your opponent's turn. Opponent gets in for 3. We're going to take it. They pass. Well, let's Growth Spiral. Put a Flooded Strand into play. Fetch up a Hollowed Fountain. Tapped. Untap. We draw. Remand Dose. Okay. Pass the turn. I wonder if there's like any good activated ability lands we could be running. Like there's the land, the colorless land that has a green activation cost that you can sack it for 2 basics that come in. Something like that might be useful. Opponent plays a Smasher. We remand. Urban Evolution's really good. Opponent gets in for 3. We're going to path it. Our opponent, in all likelihood, will attempt to recast Smasher, and we'll have remand for it. Okay, we untap. We draw. Harrow. Well, cast Urban Evolution. Play Misty. Crack Misty. Get a Temple Garden. Untapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Glittering Wish. Heck yeah, I want to use its ability. And let's get Sphinx's Revelation. Pass turn, untap all our lands. Opponent plays an Endbringer. We remand. Draw Growth Spiral. Let's Harrow, sack a Forest. Get an island and a forest. I think we just cycle this Growth Spiral. It might actually be better to do so after we Sphinxes, so maybe not. We're going to draw a bunch of cards this turn. Untap, we draw. Reclamation 2? Hell yeah! Oh my gosh, this is nasty. Let's go to our end step. Untap all our lands. Float all of our mana. Untap all of our lands. So we're going to spend all of our floating mana at the very least. Draw 9 cards. Growth Spiral. Put in an untapped land. Take an extra turn. And we have the blue sun. We're going to discard land. Draw a bunch of cards, or draw a card. Shock Watery Grave. Play Reclamation. And then we play Dictate of Karametra. Hi, Midnight Pearl, how's it going? You're just in time to see me completely own this person. Sorry I was streaming so late the other day, by the way. Here we go to our end step. Float mana. Untap. Float mana. Untap. Float mana. Untap. Float mana. Blue Sun targeting our opponent for the straight up high tide kill. Kamehameha! Woohoo! We got there. All right. Let's just run it back. I know I'm not streaming just for you, but you are a very loyal viewer, and I appreciate your opinion and enjoy it when you're here. You're fun to talk to. Same with Phoenix. You guys are both great. Alright, we will keep this hand. You're welcome. Just telling the truth. Opponent starts Cavern. So Remand is going to be a lot less useful this game. We draw a Nexus. Put Breeding Pool in tapped. Turn to the dark side. X-Mage has been so slow for the past month. Got tired of how slow it was and tried MTG Arena. Oh no. Oh no. How are you liking it? Opponent plays a Matter Reshaper. We untap, we draw a Breeding Pool, play an island, pass the turn. Really, really hoping on no Thought Knot here. Thought Knot taking Reclamation would be very bad for us. I don't love how it handles some stuff. That's fair. I get frustrated with full control, like what exactly it means and whatnot. You're on a mission to build new jank? What kind of new jank? Value Reclamation? Oh my goodness. You let me know how that turns out. I am interested to hear. We're going to play Reclamation because it's slightly safer on the board than it is in our hand. Sorcery speed creatures and instant speed abilities. Sounds spicy. I hate how it tells your opponent you have no spells to play even though you have mana up. Yeah. That is really annoying. I get that they streamlined the process, but that's one of the decisions that's like, did you really need to do that particular thing, you know? Alright, opponent is on 5 mana. This Smasher. It's another Reshaper. Opponent gets in for 3, takes us to 14. Thinking Bant, Simic, or just green-white. Bant probably gets you the best abilities because Bant will get you, like, Knight of the Reliquary. Blue Sun. Okay, we're in a good spot now. So play Breeding Pool tapped. Pass to our end step. Who would have thought that this line of turn 4 or turn 3 Wilderness Reclamation into turn 4 Nexus of Fate, which is really good in Standard, is really good in Modern. Wrong type of activated ability? Yeah, that's fair. We want mana sinks, don't we? We Nexus of Fate. Pass to our next turn. Draw Path. Play a Forest. Pass to our end step. Ballista is nuts. Yeah, it would be. Holy crap. That sounds awesome. Reclamation Tron with Quadra Ballista. I mean, I guess, you know, I'm into it. I'm into it. Let's Reclamation some Tron lands sometime. That sounds like it's a mean thing to do to somebody. Okay. So we Nexus of Fate. We will Blue Sun ourselves for 2. I refuse to build Tron, but I'm down to help you find pieces. Okay, but it's not. It's not. We're not playing Karns. There's no Planeswalkers. There's no turn 3 Tron into Big Threat. This is strictly we're using the lands for insane mana advantage to pump a creature. I feel like that's not Tron enough. Like, that's not 2 Tron, is what I mean. Opponent Warping Whales to make a colorless Eldrazi Scion. Interesting. We untap. We find a land. Well, we Temple Garden. Glittering Wish. We will use Glittering Wish's ability. Let's take Urban Evolution. Opponent says they forgot Wish was sorcery, otherwise they would have waited on the Warping Whale. We could have taken Sphinx's Revelation as well. Play Growth Chamber. Pick up a Forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, untap all of our lands. Pass. Opponent plays a Wastes. Plays a Smasher. Let's Growth Spiral. Put a Temple Garden into play, untapped. Path Smasher. Discard a forest. Nexus of Fate is only tangential to the win condition. We're not actually trying to win with Nexus of Fate. It's more of a... We're casting Nexus Fate as more of a time spiral than a extra turn spell. If you wanted to compare this to like Legacy High Tide as an example. Opponent gets in for 7. We're going to Snapcaster for Path. Path a Shaper. Give me your magazine now. Opponent reveals an Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Alright, that's kind of bad for us. We'll play a forest. Mystical Teachings. Or Blue Sun Zenith. Game Informer or National Geographic? Oh, you guys are great. Pass to our end step. Float all of our mana. So we have 6 floating mana. 7. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to Blue Sun ourselves for this much. I believe you. So draw 6 cards. Oh, this deck runs Quicken, too, by the way. Don't know if that matters to anybody, but it matters to me. Well, Quickening Glittering Wish and Urban Evolution's fun, okay? Alright, opponent. Glittering Wish, basically. Glittering Wish and sideboard tech. When it gets in for 1. And Path. Path to Exile. Alright, let's Teachings. In this deck? I mean, we do have black for flashback Mystical Teachings. Like, we have an Overgrown Tomb and a Watery Grave. So, like, what you're asking for is not unreasonable. Take Nexus. Untap. Draw Glittering Wish. Play Misty. Fetch with Misty. Let's get a Watery Grave, untapped. Glittering Wish. We're going to pick up Mind Grind ought to do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, we're going to Quicken Mind Grind at her end step. Words I have never before spoken. That's a rarity, by the way. Cast a Quicken. Cast a Mind Grind. So unless they have straight up Emrakul, this should win the game. "47 cards, enter the graveyard." And we milled him out! Jeez. Turn 4 Reclamation, turn 5 Scarab with backup Reanimation, which opens up the line of Animate, Snap, use Snap to cast a thing. That seems pretty nasty. I actually really like that. Oh man! Illuminati's opened up in my hometown in Illinois. And I'm really sad that I'm not there, because Illuminati's is awesome. Okay. I don't know what chat thinks here, but quickening a Mind Grind at your end step for lethal, pretty good. I would if it wasn't 2,400 miles away. Or 2,100 miles away, excuse me. If it wasn't 2,100 miles away, I would go. For anybody who ever gets the chance, Lou Malnati's, Loumalnatis pizza is the best damn pizza I think I've ever had. Chicago-style pizza. Would recommend very highly. Alright. I would love to play first. This isn't an amazing hand, but like if we draw a ramp spell, this is going to be really good. I'll keep it. We'll see what happens. So start Flooded Strand, pass the turn. I'm going to play Spire Bluff Canal. Fetch up Hallowed Fountain. Interested to see what our opponent's playing. Because this could be like the thing in the ice deck. I think we have to wait on Glittering Wish until we know what it is. Second Spire Bluff. Serum Visions number 2. tops 2 cards. So we're going to crack this Misty for, I guess, an Overgrown Tomb. Untap. We draw Wargate. I mean, Wargate is technically a ramp spell. So let's cast a Wargate. And we'll get Simic Growth Chamber, bounce the island. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn. Is this Storm? I'm hoping it's Phoenix at this point, honestly. Manamorphose. Could be either still. Sleight of Hand. Faithless Looting. Manamorphose. Faithless Looting. Discards 2 Phoenixes. Oh my god. Opponent reanimates 3 Phoenixes. We draw a Reband. Is there anything we can board out of the side here? 1 second. We can Glittering Wish for a Detention Sphere. That should do it. Right? Yeah. So white, green. Yeah, we have to shock this, though, to do it. Glittering Wish. Yes, we will use its ability. And we're probably dead to the million bolts that are in our opponent's hand. But get Detention Sphere. Detention Sphere. Arclight Phoenix. Whew! Alright. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain. We untap. We draw Path. You found the sauce? Ugh. What is it, Phoenix? Opponent, is it Charms? Helix Pinnacle! Oh my god, Phoenix Helix Pinnacle! Oh, it's gonna work! Phoenix, we're gonna build Helix Pinnacle. Oh, it's gonna happen. I forgot that card existed. Oh, I am so excited right now. I don't know if you can tell that I'm excited. But I'm excited. Opponent bolts. Opponent bolts. Ah! Ha ha! Dang it. Alright. Crypt. We're bringing in like our actual sideboard cards. And this is how I know I'm a terrible person, because I encourage Helix Pinnacle. No, you're not a terrible person. You're a genius. Phoenix, you're a genius. Oh, and I am so excited right now. Oh, I'm gonna have to try and build that list. Oh, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good. We're gonna drop, I guess, our last Urban Evolution. It's not a card we're likely to cast unless we're comboing off. And there's other cards in our deck we'd rather cast, I think. Yes, would love to play first. This is a keepable hand. We will keep this hand. Start Temple Garden. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent fetches with Scalding Tarn. Finds an island. Thought Scours themselves. Mills a Manamorphose and a Scalding Tarn. Opponent plays a Steam Vents tapped. Well, let's Growth Spiral. Breeding Pool in tapped. Untap, we draw. Growth Chamber. Play a forest. Pass the turn. We're going to hold up Teachings or double Remand. Opponent, sleight of hand. Sure. Sulfur Falls. So let's Teachings. Opponent dispels. Sure. We untap. We draw an island. Play the island. Pass. We're playing the island here because if we play the Growth Chamber, we can't double Remand if we need to. Opponent casts a Faithless Looting. Sure. Discards a Phoenix and a Scalding Tarn. Casts a Manamorphose. We will remand Manamorphose. Draw planes. Ooh. Next turn we can Wargate for Reclamation. Or, yeah. Bounce the forest. Pass the turn. Opponent casts a Manamorphose. Sure. Casts Looting. I'm going to remand that Looting. Draw Misty. Opponent recasts Looting. Discards Engineered Explosives and Sleight of Hand. Shocks a Steam Vents. Reanimates Arclight. Goes attacking. Path Arclight. Path resolves. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw. Path. Play a plains. Wargate for all of our mana. Opponent has a Spell Pierce. That's fine. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn. Fetches up a Breeding Pool. Casts a Crackling Drake. Draws a card. Plays a Sleight of Hand. And passes. We untap. We draw Blue Sun Zenith. Let's start with Path Drake. It resolves. Play Misty Rainforest. Pass the turn. Opponent casts a Mind Sculptor. With the new double mana creature in Reclamation. Let's run Dictate of Karametra. Because the mana creature doesn't let you cast non-creature spells. We're going to fetch up a Watery Grave. And we're going to attempt to Blue Sun right now. Before our opponent potentially wheels into even more counterspells. Opponent has to pass back priority. Okay. Blue Sun ourself. This is like modern High Tide Raelin. Also, glad to have you. Opponent has another Spell Pierce. Sure. Opponent Thought Scours themselves. Ah, yes, Raelin. So what's broken about untapping all of your lands a bunch of times every turn? No, the idea is Helix Pinnacle teachings. Or Helix Pinnacle Reclamation, I should say. With the most broken land ramp we can find. Opponent reanimates a Phoenix. I would say we're talking about the same card. Get Nexus of Fate. Opponent brainstorms. Doubling Season would do it. I was thinking Dictate of Karametra because it's the same effect but symmetrical and has flash. But just running like a bunch of Heartbeat of Spring effects. Extra planar lens! There you go. Opponent casts a Serum Visions, puts a counter on Pyromancer Ascension. Opponent Faithless Looting. Pyromancer Ascension is online. Is it Raelin? Is it terrible? Because this might be its only chance to ever not be terrible. So is Quicken, but we still play it. I had some sweet test games with this deck today. Opponent gets in for 3, takes us to 11. Opponent bolts. Oh no, do they have another bolt? But Helix Pinnacle comes down turn 1 and has Shroud. Alright. One more match with this deck. Maybe 2. We'll see. Alright. This is a keepable hand. No ramp, but we do have a lot of interaction. Helix Pinnacle also doesn't get Assassin's Trophy. How do you answer an enchantment with Shroud? Back to Nature? Nobody runs that card. Cyclonic Rift? One deck used to run that card. Why am I not playing 4 of Krasis in this list? Because they're like $140 to get a playset. I mean, it's definitely funnier to lose a Helix Pinnacle to an Engineered Explosives than a Ballista. Oh, that's a good point. Hallowed Fountain untapped. You need so many cards to get it working. That's when decks get bad. Play the Forest, pass the turn. We're going to see if Remand or Path is better here. But it plays an Arid Mesa. To be fair, I think Ballista and Pinnacle can both go in the Reclamation deck. Overgrown Tune in, tapped. Blah. Overgrown Tomb. Should have played the island so I could remand and path, but I don't have that kind of foresight. With Winding Constrictor? Does that work? Just put the counters on one at a time? There's some moderately better cards that can win at 100 mana. Opponent Boros Charms. I'm gonna let Boros Charm resolve. Well, like, if you Banefire for 100, you always run into the chance your opponent is running Redirect. And then you get redirected and died. Opponent bolts. Let's path the Swift Spear. Opponent gets a mountain. We go to 10. Play Hinterland Harbor, pass the turn. That's true, it will be over a few turns. Which probably makes it bad, because there's stuff that wins on the spot, right? But opponent shocks in a land. We Growth Spiral. Put an island into play. Untap, we draw. Harrow. Play an island, pass the turn. Yes, that's definitely what makes it bad. We eat a bolt. Opponent skull cracks. Remand skull crack. Draw Nexus of Fate. Opponent skull cracks. We go to 4. Opponent bolts. Three mana burn spell. No! Not a good spell. Nexus of Standard Ruiner. Yeah, kinda. We'll bring in Dispel. Engulf the Shore is reasonable. Drop Search for tomorrow. Drop Spring to Mind. Run it back. But Raelin, you missed the game earlier. I don't know if you were here, but we quickened a Mind Grind for like 30 on our own end step to kill our opponent. It was great. Yeah. That's the only reason they banned it in Best of 1. Not because the deck was oppressive or the card's too good, though that is debatable. They banned it because you could just infinitely cast Ugin's Nexus of Fate with no repercussions whatsoever. Even if you had no win conditions and it was the only card left in your deck, you could just keep recasting it and hold your opponent hostage until they quit the game. Opponent starts Plains. Interesting. Clifftop Retreat. Goblin Guide. Opponent attacks with Goblin Guide. Reveals a Quicken, which is unfortunately not a land. No lands. Untap, we draw. Overgrown Tomb. We'll play Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. This deck runs 26 lands, by the way. Why didn't I cast Snap to block? Because I was hoping I would hit a land. We need lands. Snap to block may have been better. Alright, now... Yeah, we'll Snap to block. We're going to play Reclamation next turn anyway. Well, we wanted to cycle to draw a card. We wanted to make sure we could hit our third land drop. Because if we don't hit our land drops, we are going to lose. Like, we wouldn't get it off the growth spiral, but we also needed it the turn next turn. Okay, Raylan, you got me. Opponent is running Blood Moons in their burn deck. Well, now we would like some forests. Pass the turn. We are running quite a bit of basics. Opponent plays a Swift Spear. Lava Spike. We can't counter with the spell. Go to 15. Opponent gets in for 2. Take us to 13. Quicken. Oh, we got a Teachings. Play an island. Pass the turn. I just realized I don't have any Echoing Truth or Repeal effect in this deck, which is probably horrible. Opponent gets in for 1. Bolts. I will dispel a bolt. Opponent bolts again. We go to 7. Go to our opponent's end step. Teachings. What are we Teachings for? The only thing we can cast is blue. Teachings for Snapcaster, I guess. Because it chump blocks. Untap. We draw. Oh my god, it's a forest. Thank you. Play Wilderness Reclamation. Pass turn. Untap. Snap, Quicken, Urban Evolution, but then I don't get the land play. We'll Growth Spiral. Put a Hinterland Harbor into play. Pass the turn. I like that line because of how absurd it is. Opponent attacks. Snapcaster Mage. For Quicken. Just a cantrip. Probably should have hit Teachings so we could go get our Nexus of Fate. But that requires more thinking than I could do right now. We block. Oh, we killed it. Holy crap. Opponent plays an Eidolon. We Quicken. We draw Quicken. Untap. We draw Glittering Wish. Play Breeding Pool. Urban Evolution. Play a Forest. Pass to our end step, float a bunch of mana, untap, cast Nexus of Fate. We're going to Quicken to try and draw a card here. We go to 5. Untap. We draw. Misty. Now we got to draw something we can cast. Teachings. Teachings gets us somewhere. We do have some outs to the Eidolon, yes. So mystical teachings. We just can't cast Path or... We can cast Engulf the Shore. If we engulf the shore, then we'd have 1 plus our number of lands, which would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'd have 11. Not quite enough. Problem is we don't have any black mana, so we can't flashback teachings. I guess we take Nexus. Pass to our end step. Cast Nexus. Untap, we draw. Teachings. Play Misty. So let's Mystical Teachings. And take Engulf the Shore. Okay. Engulf the Shore. Bounce the Eidolon. Go to our end step. I was thinking this was Cryptic Command, and I was thinking I was bouncing the Blood Moon. For some reason in my mind, that Eidolon was a Magus of the Moon. And I cannot flash this back because I do not have black mana. I had to go get Nexus. So I'm going to concede. One more. One more and I'm switching decks. That was bad. I'm sorry. One more. Then we'll switch decks. Alright, that's pretty good. Yeah, that was the correct play. Even more so than just trying to take another extra turn. Play Breeding Pool. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent fetches up a Steam Vents tapped. Plays a Scalding Tarn and an island. Plays a Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Steam Vents tapped. Spiral at their end step. Opponent remands. Sure. We untap. We draw. Forest. Play Watergrave tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent loots with Jace. Discards Jace. Untaps. Plays a Sulfur Falls. Loots with Jace. This is Kiki something? Okay. Growth Spiral at our opponent's end step. Opponent cryptic commands, countering and bouncing a land. We untap, draw Misty. Play Misty Rainforest. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain. Opponent pluses Jace to 7. We're going to fetch up a Temple Garden. Growth Spiral is much better than Explorer by a long shot. Where's Battle of Wits? We could play Battle of Wits. This is my last match with this particular deck, Joest. Also, good to see you. And thank you for subbing again the other day. I don't remember if I thanked you when you subbed. So my apologies if I did not. You'll be home in 10 minutes? Okay. Okay. So we are going to Mystical Teachings for Nexus of Fate. Draw Path. Breeding Pool tapped. Opponent opts. Deceiver Exarch. We'll Path Exarch. That's fair. I should have explored on our turn, yes. Opponent takes Jace up to 9. We untap, we draw Blue Sun Zenith. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent opts. You know, if you're gonna, like, be able to alt Jace, I feel like you should not be casting actual spells. Snapcaster for Path. Path Exarch. Opponent Exarch number 2. Gonna tap our black mana. I'm just gonna play Kiki and kill us. Opponent fetches with Scalding Tarn. Finds a Steam Vents. Mine does not alt Jace. Minuses to opt. Okay. I guess because we have Nexuses, they're going to be like, well, we're not going to mill them anyway, I guess. Untap. Play a Forest. We'll pass. Opponent Snapcaster Mage for probably Cryptic Command. Opponent opts. Opponent minuses targeting opt. Casts an opt. Sure. Plays a land. I'll block snap. Okay. Attempt a Nexus. Opponent Cryptics. Counter draw. Untap. We draw. Hinterland Harbor. Play Hinterland Harbor. Cast Urban Evolution. Opponent's just got a boatload of Cryptics. Alright. Pass the turn. Opponent is at Charms to Faithless Looting mode. Opponent sacks Jace to Cryptic. Oh, target Cryptic, okay. Yep. You got it, opponent. We'll bring in Engulf the Shore Dispel. I guess we could Surgical because they are a combo deck, but we don't like have a way to mill them or anything, so I think that's pretty subpar. We're gonna drop Spring to Mind, and we're gonna drop, I think, Search for Tomorrow. Try like this. Heck yeah, we won't play first. I don't think this hand actually does anything. We're gonna mulligan. It's marginally better. We're gonna keep this one, I think. Just because it has a remand, which doesn't actually accomplish anything. Quicken to the bottom. Play a Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Blue-green Reclamation abusing Cryptic Eternal Witness would be pretty fun to see. That would be pretty fun. You cast Eternal Witness during your main phase, have Cryptic. Opponent really thinks we're a graveyard deck, apparently. Fetch, Hollowed Fountain. Play Misty. Pass the turn. Opponent shocks and Esteem Vents. We'll fetch up a Breeding Pool. Opponent makes us exile our lands. We untap. Draw a Breeding Pool. Play an Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Pass the turn. We draw Quicken. Breeding Pool intapped. Pass the turn. Opponent opts. Plays a Wandering Fumarole. Cycle Quicken. We draw an Urban Evolution. Play a Forest. Pass the turn. Yeah, Wandering Fumarole? I agree. Been quite a while. Plays a Steam Vents. We draw a Simic Growth Chamber. Play a Forest. Pass the turn. We're not playing Growth Chamber because our opponent does have Cryptic Command, and it doesn't seem like they'd really be above bouncing a land of ours to draw. Opponent gets in for 2. Might have gone for a remand on the opt. That may have been reasonable. Cast Urban Evolution. Opponent remands. We could remand our Urban Evolution. Let him have the draw. Remand Deceiver Exarch. When it gets in for 2, takes us to 14. Exiles the remand out of our grave. Opponent discards a Crumble to Dust. Play Forest. Pass the turn. Alright. Opponent resolves an Exarch. You got the Kiki for us? Throw a Simeon and type gotcha. Alright.